All right, we'll continue with Coach Snyder. Just raise your hands, we'll come around. Here in the middle, James.
Hey, Coach, you've talked before about steps your defense has to make. What's the next step after Auburn that you guys need to get to in order to improve?
Well, the key is, is reps, game reps. Hard to simulate that in practice, and we just got to keep playing. And the thing you look for is improvement. Each week as you play a game, you sit down and you evaluate, what the kids are doing. Do we have the right people on the field? And are we asking them to do what they can do?
Right side aisle, Gabe.
Coach, how much time is spent on personnel as you're trying to mix and match and figure out a way to get this right?
Well, it's been the whole year. We've been mixing and matching a little bit. We're starting to slow down a little bit now, especially in the back end. It looks like that, we've got all four of our guys back, and we can leave the Shazier corner and go from there. Having Darian and Jinx in there, even though they're getting banged up a little bit, having them play together helps. And then getting Isaiah, used to playing with Obi and Gavin and those guys. So
Here on the left, Olin.
Gabe kind of addressed what I was going to ask, but you said getting the right guys on the field. Do you feel like y'all got the right guys on the field?
Yeah, we do. We do. We got what we have, and that's what we're going to go with. And it's a matter of game reps, playing together, communicating together, all those kind of things.
Here on the left, Chandler. Okay, we'll go to the front. Suzanne.
Mark, it seems against Auburn that y'all kind of handled all the extra motion that Gus Malzahn will throw at you. Does Vanderbilt do that at all?
They do some of it, yeah, not as much, but I agree with you. I was, for the most part, I thought our secondary's eyes were pretty daggum good. We got a season's worth of pops, wheels, and overs in that game. So that was good to see, and we covered it for the most part. So that's one issue we can scratch off our list as we head down the road here.
Middle left, Chandler.
Last season, you talked about Sean Porter and Jonathan Stewart as guys who could come off the field and talked about offensive tendencies and maybe suggesting plays or whatever.
Right.
Are you seeing that kind of collaboration from any of the players now?
No, it's more of us talking than it is them.
Right side aisle, Gabe.
Are you expecting to see a lot more of that quick huddle because of the confusion maybe it caused your team?
Yeah, that was a new thing that he busted out for that game. Will we see some more of it? I don't know. I don't really recall that affecting us a whole lot. But that's something you see throughout the season.
Over here on the right side, middle, Homer.
Coach, you've been in the head chair before, and what is it about Coach Sumlin that he brings to the table as a head coach? What if you could nail one or two things that
There's a lot of things. Coach Sumlin is a player's coach, and in a lot of different ways, in a ton of different ways. He doesn't sugarcoat anything with the kids. I think kids respect that. I think our whole staff's that way, and it bleeds down from the top. I mean, we tell them exactly what we feel in this room right here, and then on our defense, on our side in our defensive room. He brings a lot of energy. I think he brings a lot of youth. He can relate to the players, and because he can relate to the players, I think they trust him, and you can be brutally honest with them. And I think he does a great job with that.
Here on the left side, Billy.
You talked about the secondary improving this week, and where they really got you guys was with the running game, and Auburn's a strong running team. But when you watch the tape, what were some of the biggest issues that held y'all back and led to some of those big runs on Saturday?
Matchups up front. Just matchups up front, Billy.
Go to Cease and then down to Brent.
Mark, how do you keep a young team from getting beat up possibly after a game like that? What's your job to get them back?
Well, I mean, it goes back to the question that's our job. And like I said, you brought up best. Coach Sumlin does a great job with that. You talking about from a confidence standpoint? Yeah, mentally, not physically. We're a little beat up physically too, but mentally, you got to show them the goods, which we tried to do. I mean, we were 5 of 7 on third down. We had 4 3-and-outs. Then you got to be brutally honest with them too. At the same point in time, we're 1 of 6 in the red zone. We knew they were going to move the ball. They're a good offense. They're going to score a lot of points on a lot of people. I don't care who it is. But the key is making kick field goals, and we didn't do that. So, you're honest with them, but you got to show them some of the good stuff too. It wasn't like we didn't go out and just play horribly. We played horribly at times, but not all the time. And there was some stretches in there where we played pretty decent football. And we told the kids it comes down to this. A week ago, we got off the field at the end of the game. This week, don't let it come down to that. They threw a wheel route. Nate's got it covered beautifully, guys. I mean, beautifully. The kid threw a great ball. The kid made a catch against his helmet and got down before Nate could get it out. Don't let it come down to that. Let's not let it come down to that. So that's kind of our deal. And the energy at practice was good yesterday. I mean, I don't sense it. We'll know a lot more today, but, my big thing is I learned a long time ago, sitting in the head chair, you don't listen to the noise. And I keep telling the kids, don't listen to the noise. That's old Bill Belichick deal.
I know it was a pretty to-the-point statement, but you said that if you score 40 points in a game, you should win. The game has changed, so there's that argument on that side. But would you mind just kind of expanding on that a
Well,
bit?
It's hard for me being on defense as a defensive coach or the coordinator to live with that, that you should win a game if you score 40 points, period. I understand the game's changed. It's hard to be a DC nowadays. It's extremely tough. I get that. But that's what the challenge is about. And that's what we're trying to instill in our kids. Offenses are changing. They're putting up big points and so forth and so on. But I know this too. How do I put this? Once we get where we want to be, with guys coming off the field talking to me and they're able to adjust with me and things of that nature, there's things you can do to these offenses now. Aggressively wise. Now they still might put up 40, but it ain't the slow way. It's the fast way. Or then you create big plays, and we was able to do that some last year, and just can't quite do that right now.
Here in front, Suzanne.
Specifically on Vanderbilt, Jordan Matthews looks like he'll break the SEC record if he catches 14 yards.
Yeah, he is a really good receiver. He's tall, long, and fast.
Who's going to get responsibility for him, you think?
I don't want to give away all of our secrets.
Okay.
We're going to cover him the best we can. How's
Okay,
that?
there you go. And then off of Brent's question, talking about how hard it is to be DC nowadays, is it getting to the point now with all these offenses coming in that a 4-3 is going to be like a thing of the past?
Well, I mean, you can't. I've said this for 10 years now. It was coming into vogue 10 years ago. And I'll say this. If you can't jump into your 4-3, when you get your right people, you're going to have a hard time stopping Auburn, Alabama, LSU. Who else in our league? Florida. In this league, I'm talking about this league. Now, do you necessarily want to play it against Missouri? No. You got to play it against Ole Miss. Would you play it against our offense? I probably wouldn't. I'd get out of my 4-3. So there's some teams, you have to be versatile in what you do. But the bottom line is, as you saw Saturday, if you can't stop the run, and that's hard to do with a 3-down front versus a good offense, you don't have a chance to win, in my opinion. And it goes back to what Brent asked. It's hard to be a DC these days because there's a lot of motions and all this and that and the other, but they're still putting up big rushing yards, period. Then you got to be able to stop the run. Yeah. I mean, the team we just played can run the ball. I don't know how great they throw it. The week before, I thought they could run it some, but they could throw it a little bit better. Each week brings a different deal.
Seat in the back, KO.
Coach, how much of the problem that we're seeing is missed assignments or just mistakes, and how much of it is just physically the guys are trying to get up to speed into an offense that they maybe should, or against an offense they maybe should have redshirted against?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of both. The first thing I look at Sunday when I come in is the MAs and missed tackles. That's the first two things I look for. Our MAs are not real bad. I mean, I told you guys during fall camp, and we were up in the 30s after some of our scrimmages. Those are down into the teens right now, and those need to continue to come down. So it's a little bit of both.
Here in the middle, James.
Hey, Mark. Kind of jumping off what Brent said again, is it more like you don't see a lot of shutdown defenses anymore? They're kind of rare. Or is your defense and lots more defense what you call opportunistic, going after turnovers and third down conversion?
I think that's huge. I mean, yes, to answer your question, yeah. I mean, it depends on who you are. Where we're at right now, yes, we need to be opportunistic. We got to get off the field on third down, get our offense back the ball, and create turnovers. That's where we're at. I watch these, I get to see all the other SEC teams right now as you get ready. Now we're in SEC play. That might be a little bit different for a couple other teams because of where they are as I sit there and watch them.
You're the right side aisle, Gabe.
Mark, you touched on it, but did you feel like Raven did enough that allows you to be fully confident that you can just throw DeShazer back at corner and be good?
Yeah. He did good. I thought Floyd did pretty good. I mean, he had a couple little busts here or there, but, going back to the one wheel route that they did hit on us that was open going down the sideline, we had just moved DeShazer back to corner, and put Floyd in the game. And bang, didn't take him long to find it. We were supposed to cloud it over there, and we didn't get it communicated, and there it went down the sideline. So it's little things like that drive you crazy.
Good time for a couple more here in the middle.
Coach, what did you see in terms of improvements from the D this week?
Well, we continued to be good on third down again, third and long. Third and medium, third and short, we were bad. Third and long, we were good again. We got in there and got to play a lot of technique football, a lot of snaps. I didn't do a whole lot Saturday. I mean, we were pretty vanilla, very vanilla for most of the game. So we got a lot of technique work, that's for sure. A lot of double teams, a lot of power scoops, a lot of powers. And like I mentioned earlier, a season's worth of pops, wheels, and overs. So, we get to see some base fundamental football with some trickeration in there and all the motions and adjustments that was brought up earlier.
After Ole Miss, you talked about, all the explosive plays that they had.
Yeah.
This week, it seemed like they churned and they grinded, but they had a few of those as well.
They
Could
did.
you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that got us, those explosives. I mean, vividly for me, the jailbreak for the touchdown on second and long was a backbreaker. The double move on DeShazer sticks out in my mind. And then obviously the last wheel route where the kid threw a great ball, man, and it was a great catch. Again, we can't let it come down to that.
Finish up seated in the back.
Coach, the last 2 weeks, you've given up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter each
Yep.
game. Do you have to do something different in the first 3 quarters to have your guys ready, or how do you adjust for that?
I don't have the answer to that question. That's a great question. We gave up 21 fourth quarter points again. Are we getting worn down? That's something that we're talking about right now as we sit up there in our defensive staff rooms. 2 weeks in a row, where in the fourth quarter we've given up 21 points. And that's not been our MO. That has not been our MO. Typically, we start really fast, and our guys are out at halftime. And it's the younger guys playing. It hasn't quite gone like that this year.
All right. Thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, gang. Thank you.